It is challenging in some ways to reconcile being an environmentalist and a fashion model. Obviously there's some aspects of the advertising industry, consumerism, that conflict with, environmentalism or ecological health. But I have to say it's been getting a lot easier in recent years because there's, everyone knows there's an increasing awareness in the industry about our responsibility to be more responsible with natural resources and the impact of the industry on the environment. So I'm really, appreciative and optimistic that the conversation is starting to happen, and that these types of questions are starting to come up on interviews instead of, what kind of underwear I wear, or, what kind of, things like that. I think there's been an evolution, and I'm optimistic about that. So I went to university and studied ecology, and my thesis project there was the conception of an ecological field station. And after graduating, I got together with a small team and basically brought that into reality. So the Cedar Coast Field Station was founded in 2017, and the vision of the society is to preserve ecological health through place-based research and education that celebrates the cultural and biological diversity of Clayoquot Sound. Clayoquot Sound is where I live and I call home. It's also a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, and it's a really incredible place to kind of focus that type of energy. Yeah, I mean, when I think about on an individual level with sustainability and fashion, I think it's good to go back to the basics. When I grew up in school, we talked about reduce, reuse, recycle as a kind of a slogan, and I think the order of those things is really important. I think the most simple thing we can do is just using less, just buying less clothes, basically, which can be a challenge, when we talk about advertising and stuff like that, obviously, but that's kind of an obvious one. Reusing what we have, reusing old clothes, buying secondhand, stuff like that. And then recycling is a huge thing that really has come to the forefront in the fashion industry, using recycled materials. There's a lot that we can be doing to be making, a more sustainable world, a more sustainable lifestyle. There's obviously some really big things like transitioning to renewable energies. That sort of thing is going to happen at the governmental scale. And so voting and speaking out that way is really a big deal. And then on an individual scale, I think just simplifying things, slowing down a little bit, looking at the way things were done maybe 50 or 100 years ago. Yeah, it doesn't have to be super complicated. It can really just be a matter of simplification and slowing down.